Now, The Hunt Palmer Show.
He needs care and treatment.
You are now listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Guarantee Health Solutions on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Is this a great country or what?
Locking down the middle of the day, live from the Raising Cane studio. This is Hunt Palmer.
Welcome in! Hunt Palmer coming to you from the Raising Cane studio downtown in the capital city on this Monday. It means we're brought to you by Guarantee Health Solutions. Hope your work week's off to a good start. Got Jordan Kitchens, Cassie Spazzali back there on the ones and twos. It is NFL Draft Week. Feels like we talk about that for 4 months straight until it happens, but it's here. We'll talk a little bit about the Saints action coming up on Thursday. Garrett Nussmeier had a little bit of a medical diagnosis. We'll talk about that at the end of hour number one. LSU football went through about 2 hours of practice, and the Myers man was sitting right next to me, so I did have to make one bathroom run and facilitate some Wendy's eating. But in the middle of all that, I did chart the scrimmage and write a report up on that, so we'll talk about what we saw from a really good offensive day for LSU inside Tiger Stadium at 1:30. There is plenty to do. Let's start it with our opening drive.
Welcome to the big league.
It's time for Hunt's Opening Drive, presented by Fabry Chevrolet GMC in St. Francisville.
Well, I watched every pitch Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I commented on about 85% of them, and LSU felt in the ball game for very, very few across 3 days. Texas A&M completely outclassed LSU for 3 days over the weekend at Alex Box Stadium in a sweep, the second consecutive sweep LSU has suffered in SEC play. That has not happened since 2021, and it was a miserable weekend at Alex Box Stadium. There's just not another way to say that. And we're going to talk in the next segment about what Jay Johnson had to say over the weekend, and I think that's a story in and of itself. But I want to talk about the baseball first before we get to what was said in the press room. And I told you on Friday and reiterated on the broadcast and wrote in my preview for LouisianaSports.net and just generally had the sentiment entering the weekend, like, if you're going to beat Texas A&M, you have to go out there and score 8, 9, 10, 11 runs. That's what it takes. A&M has scored double-digit runs in almost half their league games. They lead the SEC in runs scored. They lead the SEC in doubles. They lead the SEC in slugging. They lead the SEC in walks. They strike out the fewest times in the league. They are a potent bunch offensively. If you're going to beat that team, you're going to have to do it against their pitching. And teams have done that. Teams have hit A&M pitching all conference season long. You're talking about a team that gave up 18 runs over 3 games to Missouri. You're talking about a team that allowed Vanderbilt to score 14 runs in a single game in league play. Tennessee Tech scored 14 runs. Georgia hit 10 home runs off this staff. They would send guys in, and I would read the stats off on the broadcast, and consistently, you're talking about arms that are coming in that are allowing SEC bats to hit 333. Shane Sadeo had allowed 10 homers. It's a staff that has really, really struggled. They were 14th in the SEC in ERA. You were going to have to hit those guys to beat Texas A&M. So what did you do? Well, you went out there over the course of 3 games, and you were 22 for 101. That is a 218 batting average. 218. It only got worse when you threatened to score, which didn't happen very often. You were 7 of 40 with runners on base. That's a 175 average. And when you got runners in scoring position, you did that 17 times, 1 for 17. 1 Kate Arambidi hit on Friday. That's it. 0-59 with runners in scoring position. Just a complete no-show by the offense. I am willing often to tip my cap to the opposition. You look at Ole Miss's arms, Cade Townsend, good. Hunter Elliott, tough. Taylor Rabe on Sunday, legit stuff. You look at A&M's bats, I will tip my cap. You give up a homer to Gavin Kahovic, it happens, man. That guy's a stud. Former SEC Freshman of the Year. Caden Sorrell gets into one and hits a smoked line drive out to right field on Sunday with the wind howling in. Tip my cap. Chris Akopian, going to be a top 10 pick. Got no problem with that. I tip my cap to the opposition all the time. I can't do that to Texas A&M's pitching. It's not very good. I watched him. Sims has a good mix with a cutter and a slider. He's tough, and he put LSU in a blender on Saturday. His final line, 7 innings, 2 runs. That's the only guy they threw out there that's done anything this year. You're talking about a starter you saw on Friday, as I mentioned, that has given up 10 long balls. His ERA entering SEC play was over 9. Weston Moss lost his job as a starter. Gavin Lyons came in. He was allowing SEC hitters to hit .333 against him on the season. And you just didn't do anything. It was a good night to hit on Friday. It was a good night to hit on Saturday. Sunday was a tough day to hit. But LSU just didn't mount anything on offense. And you combine that with the fact that the starting pitching was bad. That's too strong. Let me take that back. Didn't mean to say that. Starting pitching wasn't very good. It's a tough lineup to deal with. And I thought Kason Evans and William Schmidt were gutty, but at this point, that's kind of what they are, is gutty. They've both had one stellar outing. Evans dominated Oklahoma. Schmidt was great against Kentucky. The rest of their outings have been average or not very good. William Schmidt got off to such a great start against Ole Miss for 3 innings, and then the rope got snapped and Ole Miss 10-run LSU. You look at those 3 guys, Evans, Schmidt, Cowan over the weekend, they allowed 17 earned runs on 17 hits in 13 innings. That's an 11.70 ERA. They gave up 5 home runs. Now you look at Evans' outing, and he had only allowed 1 run through 4 innings. He was keeping LSU in the game. That first run came around on a leadoff walk. Turn around in the 5th, and he gives up another leadoff walk. But you get to 2 outs, and you've got a chance to get off the field in a tight game. And honestly, Evans makes a pretty good pitch through a changeup to Hakopian that started off the plate, faded back toward the outside corner, and a great hitter made a great swing and slapped it up the middle for an RBI hit. And then Jake Dewar played it 2 more. He got a single up the middle, and then A&M had opened things up. That probably should have ended Evans' night. It was 4-1, and honestly, he probably should have come out of the game there. But here's what Jay Johnson is thinking. It's Friday night, and Evans is kind of my best guy. I can't really go to Cowan here. I can't go to Sheeran here because we're losing by 3 runs. So I'm going to try to leave my horse out there for 1 more inning. And it didn't work. He hung a breaking ball to Jorian Wilson, and he launched it into the trees. So now all of a sudden you're way down in that game. Fast forward to Schmidt. Schmidt did not have issues with walks. That's sometimes been an issue for him. His issue on Saturday was that he was leaving fastballs right down Broadway. Threw a heater right down the chute. Bear Harrison hit it out to left field. Threw a heater right down the chute. Grahovic hit one out. Threw a heater right down the chute. Chris Hakopian lined a double down into left field. And he's trying to hold the rope as long as he can while LSU has no semblance of an offense against Aiden Sims. And Schmidt finally ran out of gas in the 6th inning and walked 3 straight guys. And that was the end of his night, and 2 of those scored. You look at Cowan on Sunday, and Cowan just didn't have any command. He's a guy who relies on pinpoint command. He did not have that at all. He was behind in counts early. He walked more guys on Saturday than he had in the other SEC outings he had posted previously combined. His final line on the day was 2 2/3, 4 earned runs allowed, but he walked 3. He had walked 3 entering the season. He only walked 1 in SEC play. He walked 3. And those guys just didn't get you off to a very good start. And surprise, surprise, as has been the case for LSU for 7 weeks now, they just fall out of bed and they're down 2-0, down 3-0. On Friday, you give up 1 in the 3rd, and then you give up 3 in the 5th, and you're down 4-1. On Saturday, you give up 3 in the 2nd and 2 in the 3rd, and immediately it's 5-1. And on Sunday, you give up 1 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, 5-0. They're behind immediately in almost every game. and it handcuffs the way Jay Johnson can possibly manage. Now, hopefully the bullpen is coming along a little bit because they did throw the ball really well on Saturday and Sunday. The bullpen was fantastic. Sheeran was great. Paz was great. I thought Santiago Garcia threw the ball well. I thought Connor Benz threw the ball well. Cooper Williams got a couple big outs. I thought the bullpen was pretty good, and maybe those guys are getting a little bit better because there are some guys that have had really good outings over the last 3 weeks out of the bullpen. But you struggle with who to go to when you're down 3 or 4 runs because you feel like it's unlikely your offense is going to mount a threat to come back. They've certainly done it at times on Sundays, but it never came on this Sunday. The one time the pitching did hold up and you didn't have to score 17 runs to win a game on Sunday, the bats just no-showed. Defense was actually okay. It's just this ever-evolving game of whack-a-mole with LSU, where at one point the starting pitching was kind of the only positive. You couldn't swing the bat or find anybody to play, and your defense was atrocious. And then your offense kind of woke up for a 3-week span, and the defense was awful, and starting pitching scuffled at times. Bullpen was terrible. Now the bullpen's coming alive, and the defense was fine this weekend, and the starting pitching pitches you out of the game immediately. It's just whack-a-mole every single week, and it's just difficult to watch. And I understand there are a lot of you that have mailed that in. More power to you. I don't really have that option, nor would I take it if I was given the option, but it is not any fun to watch. I was sitting there in the press box all weekend, really all weekend, thinking about that scene from Remember the Titans where Coach Boone comes in the gym and he's talking to the team and he talks to Petey. It says football is fun. You think football is fun? And then Petey eventually goes, "Zero fun, sir." That's what it felt like. And it's felt like that for a month. Zero fun, sir. There was a little bit of fun on Easter in Knoxville, a little bit of fun on Sunday against Kentucky, a little bit of fun when you get Curiel hit a grand slam. But quite honestly, if you look at LSU, they have played 18 league games. 18 league games. That is not a small sample size. 18. And they have twice in 18 games gone out on the field, pitched it nicely, defended nicely, swung the bats, and won a reasonable conference game. It's happened twice. Kasson Evans dominated Oklahoma with the 15 strikeouts, and you won an easy game there. And then Schmidt against Kentucky on Saturday. I think you beat him 7-0. Schmidt was very good. Bullpen was good. Produced some runs. It was a normal game. The other wins that you have are ridiculous Sunday free-for-all in Nashville, Curiel grand slam in the 8th inning in Knoxville, then Sunday in Knoxville where it was a circus out there. These are your wins. They don't ever go out there and just play a workmanlike game. And that's really disappointing and quite honestly shocking. It's probably not a segment for today. It's probably a segment for a different time where I come to you and say where I missed on my evaluation of this team. I'm not alone. They were ranked 2nd in the country. Everybody was picking them to be one of the best teams in the land. But I can't account for everybody's prognostication. I can only account for my own. And I watched this team a good bit in the fall, and I watched them a little bit preseason, and it's just not a very good baseball team. And that's pretty shocking at this point in the calendar. Now, Jay Johnson talked about that post-game, and it was jarring to listen to. It was Friday night after the game, and I did the games on radio with Chris, and so I didn't go to the post-game press conferences. We were doing post-game in the booth. But I got home, and I was just going to decompress and watch some stupid golf video on YouTube or something. And I thought, I should probably listen to what Jay had to say just for beat writer purposes. And I listened to it, and I went, oh, my God. So we'll play that bite for you in the next segment, and I'll give you my thoughts on it. But it was pretty shocking for me to hear that from the head coach. We'll do that when we come back.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
One Bath and Closets. OneBathAndClosets.com is the website. David Duvall and his team, 30 years redesigning and remodeling bathrooms and closets. Closet space is maybe not something you think about all the time. I certainly didn't. Bought a house that I really, really liked, lived in it in a great part of town, and fiance moved in, now my wife, and she's like, this closet situation is atrocious. And I was like, oh, really? And we didn't call David Duvall at One Bath and Closets because we were going to move. We were going to have that second kiddo. We needed more space, so we decided not to make a change. But you don't have to move to improve your situation in that closet. If you're got a ton of clutter, a ton of junk, can't find anything, knock out some space and create a new space for your closet. Maybe you have enough space, you just don't use it properly. David can do that as well. Just have that free consultation. Sit down with David and talk about what you're looking for. He'll give you some solutions and what he can do. And he'll do it right the first time and leave the competition behind. It's David Duvall on One Bath and Closets. Find him online at onebathandclosets.com.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. You have nothing to lose.
Hello, I'm Collins Meredith. If you've been injured on the job, you likely have a workers' compensation claim, but you may also have a tort claim which opens up significant recovery rights not normally available for a work injury. If this is you, call us or come see us at Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates.
Most roofers just replace your shingles. At Pelican, we diagnose your roof, digging deep down to find the root cause of your roof symptoms. Now call for me? Good. We don't ignore your roof's issues, we address them. Let's just take care of this right here. Helping your roof to become the best version of itself. Interesting that you would say that. How does that make you feel? So call Pelican Roofing for your free roof checkup today.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an...
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Guarantee Health Solutions. Guarantee Health Solutions, guiding healthcare forward. GuaranteeHealth.com.
Monday show is always brought to you by Guarantee Health Solutions. GuaranteeHealth.com is where you can find them, GuaranteeHealth.com. They are guiding healthcare forward at Guarantee Health Solutions. You know, Guarantee Health Solutions was born out of experience. Rachel Fricke, who runs the show over there, unfortunately her mother was diagnosed with cancer, and Rachel was right there every step of the way during her mother's medical journey and realized how impersonal it was, how transactional it was, and really how unpleasant the entire experience was. And so her idea, coming from a background of hospitality in the hotel business, was like, well, why don't we bring hospitality into healthcare? And that's what they help do at Guarantee Health Solutions. So if you're in the healthcare space, whether you have a private clinic, whether you're an urgent care, dental office, a hospital, whatever the case may be, and you haven't given significant thought to the healthcare experience that your patients go through, contact Guarantee Health Solutions. They are there every step of the way, from making sure that your website is accessible, functional, and helpful, to making sure that the experience inside the office, inside the clinic, is a pleasant one. They can train your front desk. They can handle your marketing. It's a one-stop shop at Guarantee Health Solutions. So check them out online, guaranteehealth.com, guaranteehealth.com. Guarantee Health Solutions, guiding healthcare forward. All right, as I told you at the end of that first segment, I was really taken aback by Jay Johnson's comments on Friday, and there have been a lot of different reactions to it. I'm going to play this first bite in its totality. I think it's important to do that. It is a minute and a half, which is longer than most sound bites we play here, and it touches on a number of things, and he does a job of kind of staying a little bit vague while really hammering home a point, and I'll editorialize on it afterward. But this is Jay Johnson after Friday's loss, essentially suggesting that there were mistakes made in July of last year that they can't make up for.
I think it's a deep-rooted thing. We're off, and it will never happen again. We need to be able to stay on the ball better and, hit the ball back through the middle of the field and the other way and hit the ball lower with shorter swings. It's not the era that these players that we are coaching right now have grown up in. A lot of them, talk about exit velo and distance and home runs and all, and those are great. We have plenty of home runs, honestly. I think we're 4th in the league or 5th in the league in homers. If you attached professional at-bats, which what we're known for, what we're a staple of, why we have 2 national championships. With the power on this team, it would be plenty. I made some mistakes in constructing the team and trying to replace 2 guys that were irreplaceable, where we should have looked for replacing them through guys that were already in the program and then replaced the guys that were athletic and could play defense and be more complete players. Okay, we won't make that mistake again. The power moving forward will come from players that start their career here and develop into it like Jake has, per se, this year. But I can't do anything about that now. But what I can do is try to get them to understand, like Texas A&M, a top 5 team, won the game tonight because they hit the ball hard and low the other way. When did we do it one time? Kate Arambidi did it tonight, okay, and a 2-out RBI. But that was a one time. But when we pop up to short, ground out to short, fly ball to center field, the appearance is we're trying to do too much. And trying to do too much is not a plan or a sign of a mature offensive baseball team. And that's my responsibility. And that will get fixed.
So it's a lot to chew on there. But the main point and the most volatile soundbite that was in there, where I made some mistakes in constructing the team, trying to replace 2 guys that were irreplaceable, where we should have looked at replacing them through guys that were already in the program. So I am going to editorialize here, but I feel very confident in my assertion. The 2 guys he said that they were trying to replace without saying their name, I believe, were Jarrett Jones and Ethan Fry. Jarrett Jones and Ethan Fry are homegrown players that combined for 35 home runs last year. And he knew that coming back, you were going to have Curiel, who was not going to hit a ton of homers, and Milam, who was not going to hit a ton of homers. Brown developed into a power hitter, but was not a proven, big fly guy, 17-homer guy like he is right now. You were missing some power. So what did you do? Well, you went into the transfer portal, and you went and got Grand Canyon's all-time home run leader, Zach York. You got Braden Simpson, who hit 34 home runs his last 2 years at High Point, and you got Trent Caraway, who has been a powerful bat in his profile since high school. And those 3 guys have 9 home runs on the year total, and in SEC play, they're 8 for 59. That's a 136 average. They do not have an extra base hit. So what he's saying is, I went to go get power, and I didn't hit. And they don't put together professional at-bats. They don't hit the ball hard the other way. And that's where the mistakes were made. And this is not hard to deduce because he's talking about constructing the roster, and there are only 4 offensive transfers. Dardar is one of them that I didn't name there because Dardar in 12 SEC games is hitting .286 with 3 homers and 4 doubles. That's fine. Seth Dardar's fine. He hit some big home runs in Knoxville, and he hit a huge grand slam against Kentucky, and he's been okay. York Simpson, and Caraway have lost their jobs. And this is my opinion. I don't think that was the time to say that. That's my opinion. I think Jay Johnson's the best college baseball coach in the country. There's not a single college baseball coach in America I would take in that dugout, period. He's the guy. And I think he's so calculated and he's so good and he's so invested and so involved and he does so much that's good. This, to me, was a misstep. I think he stepped out of bounds here because this is not hard to interpret. This is calling out the transfer players and suggesting that this is a failed experiment. And I think it's okay after the season's over to go, I looked at our roster and we made some decisions that in hindsight were probably misses. And just keeping it vague and moving along. That's my opinion. Y'all know how I feel about press conferences. I don't care about them. I don't believe that I don't believe the fan base is owed answers in a press conference. I believe if you want to talk about, and I use this term loosely, being owed something as a fan base, I believe you're owed effort and success. Like, that's the expectation. I don't care what you say in a press conference. Tell me about the injuries. Don't. But I think that while this is true, what he's saying is true. I'm not discrediting that at all. What he's saying is true. But it's detrimental to the current team that at that point had 14 SEC games to play. 14. And you're suggesting that the roster is significantly flawed. That's just telling the players, like, hey, y'all aren't good enough. And, I just don't think that's helpful. Maybe it helps Joe and Gonzalez, who's listening, be like, at least coach knows he screwed up. And maybe that, if that's what you're looking for, you kind of got it. But I just think you got to keep your mouth shut on that one and just keep coaching them. And then if you want to suggest after the season's over that things were done that weren't right on the money, I think that's okay. But that message to that team, I don't think it benefits you at all to air that out. That's just my opinion on the matter. It's one of those deals where it's not a right or a wrong thing. It's just an opinion. And I'm always love them up, love them up, love them up guy. That's why I don't understand home fans booing their own team. I just feel like you should want to encourage your team to do well. But some people feel like, no, I bought my ticket, I paid my dues, this is expensive. If I think you're not playing well, I can boo like that. And nobody's right or wrong. It's just a feeling. And I just was very surprised to hear Jay Johnson say that. And so the inclination is that they're going to build power with development in the program instead of chasing it. Now, look, Jacob Berry hit for some power. Tommy White hit for some power. For a second baseman, Danny Dickinson hit for some power. Braden Joubert wasn't a homegrown player. Luis Hernandez hit some huge home runs last year and was a big-time slugger. They have had success going to the portal and getting guys that can hit homers. So I wouldn't completely abandon that at all. I think it's just about evaluation, and it's tough because it's speed dating. Guys go in the portal, and you gotta go. And for LSU, you've spent 2 of the last 3 Junes playing all the way through. So it's difficult to try to beat Florida in the National Championship Series and work the portal. But I would suggest that you can't just completely abandon getting guys that can hit for power. But this is a reminder, in recruiting, Paul Maneri once said this. He once said, if I recruit a power-hitting high school player, this was before the portal, right? If I recruit a power-hitting high school player and he gets to LSU and can't really hit for power, he cannot help at all. If I recruit a shortstop center fielder who is a great high school hitter and doesn't quite translate to the college level hitting, at least he can defend. At least he can run the bases. At least he can help me in some way. Power hitters either hit for power or it's over. There is no other aspect to the game. And these guys hit for a lot of power, and they're not at LSU, and so you've got a bunch of freshmen out there now trying to play. And I understand that some mistakes were made. I wrote a story early in the season about the struggles the transfer class was having. I just don't see it as completely beneficial to air that out in public. And look, people disagree. I had a conversation with Musso about it earlier. He thought it was great. He loves the transparency. I just think that calling your players out in the middle of the season is probably more detrimental than it is helpful. And again, to be very clear, nobody I want in that dugout more than Jay Johnson at LSU. He is the best college baseball coach in the country. This is just a situation where I happen to disagree. Is what it is. Curious your thoughts. If y'all are in the Bayou Ford chat, fire away. Let me know what you think. If y'all are on Twitter and you want to shoot me a tweet with how you felt about the comments, curious everyone's thoughts. So we'll get to some of that. Maybe comment more on that in hour number 2. We're going to transition out of baseball. We've done 30 minutes up front on baseball. LSU played a lot of football on Saturday, and it looked a lot different than the previous Saturday. I'll talk about it next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Swing Easy Golf Club in Baton Rouge. SwingEasyGCBR.com is the website. Don't worry about the website. Just go hit some golf balls. It's an awesome spot to work on your game. You don't have to worry about whether or not the driving range has grass on it. Don't have to worry about whether or not the wind's blowing too hard. Don't have to worry about if it rained really good or if the balls are all scuffed up. Like, there are some issues going to some driving ranges, right? Well, take those away. Go to Swing Easy Golf Club. Work in a climate-controlled setting on the driving range setting. You can see the trajectory of your shots. You can see your carry distance. You can see where your club impacts the ball. That's always been very helpful as I hit golf shots over at Swing Easy Golf Club. No matter if you're a scratch golfer or you're just picking the game up, it's a great place to work on your golf game. So go by and see him on Segan at Perkins or online at swingeasygcbr.com. But go by and see him. Again, Segan at Perkins, Swing Easy Golf Club in Baton Rouge.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the new 25 Jeep Grand Cherokee with $15,000 off MSRP.
Plus the 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou vehicles.
If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even JB could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of JB Falgu.
The Cane's Box Combo, a symphony of flavors. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith Sean Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith Sean Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Guarantee Health Solutions. Guarantee Health Solutions, guiding healthcare forward. GuaranteeHealth.com.
summer months are just about upon us here. We know what that means in this part of the world. That, of course, means storm season. You want to make sure that your roof is fortified for storm season, right? Well, get the folks at Lifetime Roofing to do an inspection. They'll go up there, and if they think that you need a new roof, they'll tell you that. If they think that you just need a repair, they'll tell you that. If you just want to fortify your roof and make sure that it's in the best shape it can possibly be in, they'll do a tune-up for you at Lifetime Roofing as well. If you're looking to sell your home, and that may mean, hey, probably need to get a new roof put on this thing, but don't want to bite that entire chunk at once, they got financing options available for 18 months at Lifetime Roofing if you need a new roof. And also, if you need to finance a deductible, they can do that for you at Lifetime Roofing as well. They're online at lifetimeroofingla.com. Baton Rouge based, proud to be from South Louisiana. Need a new roof or just need an inspection to see if you need a new roof? lifetimeroofingla.com is that website. All right, let's talk about LSU's football team inside Tiger Stadium on Saturday. Just as a preface to this entire conversation, I think y'all are all aware of this, but I'm out there every single day, so it's front of mind for me and may not be for you since you never see any of this stuff. They don't tackle. So you take everything with a significant grain of salt, right? One of the most important aspects of the game of football is tackling, and they don't do it. So everything you see in the running game is a little iffy, and big plays are a little bit iffy, and quarterback sacks are sometimes counted and sometimes not. It's not real football. There's just some things you can draw from it, and I just want to preface every discussion that we have on that. But I will tell you this. We have been inside Tiger Stadium the last 2 Saturdays. We have seen well over 200 plays. And the first time we were in Tiger Stadium a week ago Saturday was an awful display of offensive football. Awful. 5 interceptions, a fumble, real difficulty trying to complete passes. Offensive line was getting beat. Plays were being whistled down for sacks. Very little in the way of ground game. Again, no tackles. But it was a terrible offensive effort a week ago Saturday. And Lane Kiffin talked about that, said it was discouraging, and I don't think anybody overreacted to it in the media, but if you were watching a week ago Saturday, it was a tough scene. And we went in there on Saturday, and I kind of expected to see more of the same. It was 1 week later. The offense was really good on Saturday. And I said this last week, and I'll say it again today. That's a very, very encouraging thing to see. I'm now moving forward, based on the things that I have seen the last 4 years at LSU practice preseason, I am very tuned in to making sure that one side of the ball doesn't dominate. Because LSU's offense never got stopped in 2023 when we were out there. Turns out that defense was atrocious. And LSU's offense was a bucket of yuck in August of this past year, and it translated. So you need to see both sides winning days. That's something that I'm going to be looking for moving forward. LSU's offense very clearly won the day on Saturday. They scored 10 touchdowns in various periods. Some were full field drives. Some was in the red zone. Some were, midfield. There were 10 touchdowns. I thought throughout the entirety of the scrimmage, the offense moved the ball. They were a high percentage completion. They got some big plays on the ground. They made some huge explosive plays through the air. And I thought both scholarship quarterbacks did a nice job. No one threw an interception. It should be noted that Longstreet had one dropped in the 2-minute period. Longstreet sailed one, and Traylon James from McNeese dropped it. From Southern, dropped it. But the next play, Longstreet came back and hit Winnie Watkins for a 58-yard touchdown. He also hit Jackson Harris up the seam on the second drive of the day for a 40-yard touchdown. That was right between DJ Pickett and Jakeem Jackson. It was a heck of a throw. Later on in the scrimmage, Longstreet and Harris hooked up again for a 46-yard catch and run. And then another one to Harris was a little scramble drill and thrown down into the end zone and caught for a 25-yard touchdown. I had that as a sack. I think that Charles Ross came off the edge and probably got there, but he did scramble free and he did make a play. So it was a 3-touchdown day for Jackson Harris, and Longstreet looked really good. I also saw Longstreet use his legs in the red zone, ran it in off the offensive right side to the pylon against the first-team defense. And I thought Landon Clark, who was bad a week ago from Saturday, was much better. After throwing 3 interceptions in the first scrimmage we saw, he never put the ball in harm's way on Saturday. Made a great throw to Phillip Wright for a fade on about a 20-yarder on a touchdown drive. He also had a 20-yard seam route to Jace Brown. The best play he made might have been a 2-point conversion where they snapped it to Landon Clark. He felt pressure off the offensive right side. He stepped up and under it and then fired a dart on a 2-point conversion into the back of the end zone where Phillip Wright hauled it in. I thought Longstreet was better. I thought Longstreet was sensational, really. But I thought Landon Clark had a really good day. And I just was glad to see that. I was glad to see Jackson Harris making big plays. I was glad to see Winnie Watkins making big plays. I was glad to see Jace Brown make a nice catch, Phillip Wright getting in on the act. I thought you saw some explosive runs. Harlan Berry shook free a couple times. Dylan Jones shook free once. They were the guys that took most of the reps with the first team. And so you're starting to see guys that I'm noticing more often. I'm noticing Winnie Watkins more often. I'm noticing Jackson Harris more often. I'm noticing Jace Brown more often. Those 3 guys appear to me to be the most used wide receivers. Now, there were a couple wide receivers down today, Saturday. Trey Brown did not practice, the Old Dominion transfer. Trey Wilson from Florida did not practice either, and those are guys that came in with really good pedigrees. But I think right now Watkins and Harris and Brown are the 3 guys to kind of look for at wide receiver. Of course, Trey'Dez Green is a guy to look for. He was very uninvolved in the scrimmage on Saturday. He's had a no-contact jersey on all of spring and has done a lot, but has also taken some reps off. So those are the pass catchers I think are the most involved. I think Harlan Berry and Dylan Jones are the guys who will likely carry the biggest load at running back. Not discounting Caden Durham at all, but he worked with the 2s and 3s most of the time on Saturday. And again, it's spring and it's a scrimmage. They substitute very, very liberally. But the point of the matter is that it would have been a little bit concerning, not gravely concerning. You realize it's spring and the starting quarterback's not out there, so no reason to have huge sweeping takes on the offense if it wasn't great. But just to see them find a stride was encouraging, and to create the big plays they created, to move the balls consistently, and they did, and to score the way that they did was encouraging after how poorly they played the week prior. And it was great to see Husan Longstreet lead that 2-minute drive where he could have been picked, but then came back and threw a gorgeous pass to Winnie Watkins for a big play. It was good stuff, and so it was nice to see on Saturday. Just some housekeeping items. Beyond that, Scott Starzyk, the kicker, was a perfect 3 for 3 from inside 40 yards. Sean Perrette also made a kick from 37. He's in the competition. Gavin Higgins from Parkview missed wide right from 37. But I think Starzyk is right now very much the leader for that starting kicking role, but there's still some competition at that spot. As far as attendance goes, Sam Levitt and Whit Weeks did not dress and participate. Obviously, Jamarcus Cooley was there but did not dress out. Jace Thomas took the first team reps for the most part at safety for Cooley. Fahim Delane and CJ Jim Coyley also played a little bit as well. I mentioned Trey Brown and Trey Wilson missed the scrimmage. William Satterwhite was not there. He was the last missing of the scholarship players, so they rotated a little bit at backup center with Ryan Moret, the true freshman, as well as Christian Stamps, that's Ashton's brother, and then Jaquan Sprinkle, who's been playing guard for most of the spring, got some reps snapping the ball as well. So that was kind of the housekeeping for the day on Saturday. Last thing I have written down in my notes here was a nice touchdown catch at the end of scrimmage. Last play that we saw was a touchdown to J.D. LaFleur, the now redshirt freshman, maybe sophomore. I'm not sure if he redshirted or not. May have played some special teams. Second year tight end from Salter, obviously David's son, who's a big physical kid, but he made a nice catch from Emil Picarella for a touchdown to kind of end the scrimmage. So that's a look at what we saw on Saturday. If you'd like to read about the football scrimmage, you can do that on LouisianaSports.net. Encourage y'all, if you're locked in on LSU, if you go to LouisianaSports.net, you click the Teams tab, there's an LSU tab, and you can just find all the LSU content right there, every sport. So we got spring football reports are on there. Got baseball stories, columns up there. My Around the Horn piece is there as well. And we've also are going to have some basketball news coming out this week LSU is going to start getting some transfer portal ads this week. I was told some good news over the weekend, and would anticipate that news is going to start trickling out here over the next 3 days or so. So I know it's been quiet, but we'll write those up. I'll break that news as it happens, and then we'll have reactions to all that as well. So if you want to stay locked in on the print version of your LSU coverage, do it over at LouisianaSports.net for free. Come back and close out the hour next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Highland Insurance Group, HighlandIG.com, HighlandIG.com. Jonathan Carbo and his team are phenomenal folks to work with in the insurance game. They're experts. That's what they are. That's why they get clients. That's why they keep clients, the Highland Insurance Group, because they take care of their clients. They do that by making sure that when you pay that good money for your premiums, that you have the coverage on the back end that protects your business. If you're a business owner and you want to focus on what it is that you do, as opposed to what kind of EPL coverages you should have, or what you need cyber coverage for, or whether or not your umbrella limit is proper. If you don't want to deal with any of that stuff, just trust your broker. You trust your attorney. You trust your CPA. Trust your insurance broker the same way. And trust the Howard Insurance Group to take care of you in that way. They're here in Baton Rouge. They can help you out anywhere in the state of Louisiana. Check them out online at HighlandIG.com. That's HighlandIG.com.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge, quality care is close to home. Call the Spine Center of Louisiana or visit SpineCenterLA.com.
Everything you need for a stunning garden is at the Plant Barn in Baton Rouge. From trees and shrubs to plants and pottery, the Plant Barn has it all at great prices. Visit us today on Valley Street, right off Perkins Road in South Downs.
Another roof gone too soon.
Looks like neglect. There's no doubt about it. This is a case of poor installation.
At Pelican Roofing, we don't guess. We investigate to find the real cause of your roof's problems. Call Pelican Roofing for your free roof investigation today.
Case closed.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Savor game day platters and snacks, plus drink specials at 1717 Kitchen and Cocktail. So come out for game day and let our team make you the MVP. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades, but our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Guarantee Health Solutions. Guarantee Health Solutions, guiding healthcare forward. GuaranteeHealth.com.
Our friends at Gotros Outdoor Power, GotrosOnline.com, GotrosOnline.com. They are fired up to continue what great savings they were offering in March for Mower Madness into the month of April. If you're looking for $350 off the Raptor series, they got it. Up to $550 off of the Fast Tracker series. They got it right there at Gotros Outdoor Power. They've been at this 22 years. Baton Rouge and Gonzales, family-owned and operated. That does not mean small. The opposite of small, actually. Largest parts inventory in Louisiana, largest hustler dealer in the state by far. And you're talking about the National Hustler Dealer of the Year, 2 of the last 3 years. So if you need a new zero-turn mower, you need to get by my friends at Gotros Outdoor Power. It's that time of year. Grass is going to be growing like crazy from now through October, right? So get by and see him in Baton Rouge on Airline Highway or in Gonzales. Gotros Outdoor Power. You can find them online at gotrosonline.com. All right, one season in the books here at LSU. Another phenomenal year for Jay Clark's gymnastics squad. I will not for 1 second pretend to be any sort of expert or really knowledgeable in any way about the inner workings of gymnastics. I don't know that. I know LSU is really good. I know Kaylin Chio is really, really good. And I know LSU was an eyelash away from winning the program's second national championship. I also know that Oklahoma is a juggernaut and that's who LSU went blow for blow with for every event. And I watched Jay Clark address his team after it was over, and I thought his message to the women was fantastic. It was like, it's okay to be disappointed, but you got to understand how well you did. And I don't know anything about scoring in gymnastics either, but his message was like, you went to the final and posted that number. Like, that's why you show up. And the thing about gymnastics that I do know is that you can't play defense. Like, the other team's going to do what they do. All you can control is what your score is. And LSU went out there and put up a great score. They went to the last event with a chance to win the meet and win the championship and finished less than 1/100th of a point from a title. Jay Clark is such an awesome dude. I have an opportunity to sit down with him every football season and talk about his team. He always wants to talk about the game, the football game that's coming up when I chat with him. But he has taken the baton from D.D. Bro and elevated this program. And I think one of the things that I appreciate so much about Jay Clark and about this team specifically is that I know that you also lost Haley Bryant, who's the greatest gymnast in the history of the school. And to elevate and to get to second place without your best player is amazing. I mean, look at what happened to LSU when Joe Burrow left. Look what happened to LSU when Paul Skeens walked out. Look what happened to LSU when they didn't have Kate Anderson on Fridays anymore. And they lost their best player, gymnast in this case, and just about got to the finish line. And all those girls were devastated. You could see the look in their eyes. And I did laugh at this too. I think that there's just a little bit of difference in addressing female athletes and male athletes in this way. Jay Clark said, there shouldn't be any crying. And then he stopped himself and goes, well, I know you're going to cry, but you should hold your heads up. And there were a lot of tears. And trust me, there are a lot of tears when football seasons and baseball seasons and basketball seasons in too. No doubt about it. But you don't often hear the coach of a men's team go, well, you're going to cry. But he did, and he was great in consoling those women, and they had a phenomenal season. I was in the press box calling Saturday's game as the national final was going on, so didn't get an opportunity to watch it. I did get a report from my living room that the Myers man was distraught after LSU lost. He called me to let me know that one of the women fell down, but she didn't get hurt, which was good. But he was not happy that LSU did not win. Did not want to play outside after. He was just wanted to pout. So just a tough loss for the Myers man, tough loss for Jay Clark and that team, but an incredible season, and that program is just in an awesome spot. And you look around this campus, and you continue to see championship-level performances. I know that the tennis teams have elevated their play a lot. The golf teams are fantastic, and so those are not sports that we give a lot of airtime here to. We talk a lot of football, we talk a lot of basketball, we talk a lot of baseball. But when you do something that great, it deserves the last 4 minutes here of hour number one. So I wanted to hat tip to Jay Clark, who's done an awesome job, and I'm told that LSU's got a lot of really good gymnasts coming back for next year and should be right back in that position, and understand that the experiences that they had there on on Saturday will only help them as they move forward, and that's something else that Jay Clark kind of alluded to when he addressed his team at the end of the season. So great work by LSU Gym, second place nationally for Jay Clark's program, and they'll run it back next year, and I'm sure they'll be right back in the same spot. We'll run it back for hour number 2. If you missed any of hour number 1, catch it on demand wherever you find your sound. Just search Hunt Palmer Show wherever you find your podcast. Like, subscribe, rate, review. That always helps us out a ton, so appreciate y'all for doing that. If you're just looking for LSU content, Hunt on LSU. You got it. Just looking for Saints content, Hunt on Saints. You can find us there. Subscribe to those channels as well. Get those notifications when we post a new video, which is just about every single day. Got a lot to do in hour number 2 as well. Garrett Nussmeier received a diagnosis, and I'm a little iffy on the time frame of all this based on his comments at the Combine and what we've learned today, but it is an interesting thing. We've got a story up on it in LouisianaSports.net, and we'll talk about that in hour number 2. I'm not done talking about this baseball team either. They've still got 12 SEC games to go, so we'll discuss that. But when we come back after SportsCenter, we're going to pause for some national headlines and then get back to it. The Saints going to be on the clock coming up in 4 days. There are mock drafts flying everywhere. There are NFL teams that are making moves. And we got to talk about what's to come on this draft week in the National Football League. We'll do that after SportsCenter. It's the Hunt Palmer Show.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. FabryChevrolet.com. FabryChevrolet.com. Every car that is on the lot is online at FabryChevrolet.com. Go see them. Highway 61 in St. Francisville. Under new management, the Fabry family, since October the 1st. So if you haven't been up there since October, go see them. We've got an incredible inventory of new and pre-owned vehicles. And if you're looking for a truck, there's no better place to go than Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Up to $11,000 off Silverados. Up to $11,000 off Chevy Silverados. You can get those maybe 1.9 APR financing. We're talking about up to $13,000 off GMC Sierras. 0.0 APR financing. If you're looking for a new SUV, you're going to take the family on a road trip once the kids get out of school, Fabry Chevrolet GMC is an awesome place to get by and see the Tahoes, see the Suburbans, see the Yukons, see the Denali's. Get behind the wheel of a new vehicle. It's always going to come with a wonderful buying experience from the folks at Fabry. Check them out online, FabryChevrolet.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the new 25 Jeep Grand Cherokee with $15,000 off MSRP.
Plus the 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou vehicles.
If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
Who bears the standard? Who sets the bar? It's not those satisfied by low-hanging fruit or by taking it easy. No, the standard is set by the best of us, by those who work hard. Dig deeper. Give more. At Sunshine, we're proud to provide John Deere products that work hard for you, the standard bearers. Find the dealer nearest you at sunequip.com.
Hi, this is Beth Tarina. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient. And you will have your pool in no time.
Investing in a new roof doesn't have to be overwhelming. At Pelican Roofing, we offer 0 interest for 21 months because everyone deserves a safe, secure home. Trusted, local, affordable. Pelican Roofing, making quality roofing affordable for South Louisiana families.
This is SportsCenter. I'm Nick DeLuca. Couple contract extensions in the NFL. The Cowboys are making Brandon Aubrey the highest paid kicker in league history, agreeing on a 4-year, $28 million extension with $20 million guaranteed. Since joining the Cowboys in 2023, Aubrey has been named to the Pro Bowl in 3 straight seasons. He's made the most field goals from 60 yards or longer in NFL history with 6. Meanwhile, the Niners and Trent Williams agreed to a new 2-year, $50 million extension, tying him to the team through 2027. Gets $37 million fully guaranteed, becoming the first non-QB to pass $400 million in career earnings, bringing his career totals to 12 Pro Bowls and 5 All-Pros with both selections last year. In baseball, the Red Sox take their Patriots Day game against the Tigers 8-6. Cedar Rafaela and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa each drove in a pair, while John Career goes back-to-back at the Boston Marathon, posting the fastest time in event history at 2 hours, 1 minute, and 52 seconds.
When I want that big birthday energy, I grab Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy. It's Vanilla E, buttery cake flavor without the sugar, and it's easy to take anywhere. The Funfetti flavor is back on 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon. Crack open a Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy shot today.
Now, The Hunt Palmer Show.
He needs care and treatment.
You are now listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Guarantee Health Solutions on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Is this a great country or what?
Locking down the middle of the day, live from the Raising Cane's studio. This is Hunt Palmer.
Hour 2, Monday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, right here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. We're brought to you by Guarantee Health Solutions. Find them online at guaranteehealth.com, guaranteehealth.com. All right, we'll get back to LSU baseball coming up in 15 minutes. And we'll do a little Garrett Nussmeier as well in this hour because he had some news that broke about him earlier today. But I want to get to the Saints here to start the hour. And I'm just going to apologize up front. I'm going to apologize. I have to do it. I'm going to give you a segment here that might be a waste of time. It might be a waste of time. But I would not do it if I didn't feel like it made all the sense in the world. I have not seen any of the Rocky movies. I don't know them. Never seen one.
Oh, that's egregious.
That's
egregious.
One. Never seen one.
Not one.
But there is a line that I know where Rocky says, "Everybody can change," right? He's in the ring.
Okay.
Everybody can change. Yeah, he says that. And I'm living by Rocky's words here, even though I've never heard them. Everybody can change, okay?
Yes.
They got to trade back. They have to trade back.
What are we doing?
I'm looking at these mock drafts. There's now 1 billion of them out there, okay?
There are 1 million.
And I keep looking and I keep going, they can do this. There is a CBS mock draft that has them trading back. They trade in this CBS mock draft with the Cowboys. The Cowboys come up to take Sonny Styles at 8, and the Saints trade back to 12.
Okay.
And at 12, they get Ruben Bain.
Ooh.
Now, I don't know what the compensation would be. I don't know how much you would get for moving back 4 spots. But the point remains that Ruben Bain, they could take him at 8. If he's there at 12, that's awesome. And I'm looking at the ESPN mock draft. And that one has the Saints taking Mansour Delane at 8, which I'm completely fine with. But I looked beyond it, and I'm like, okay, well, what's after the Saints? They've got the Chiefs taking Ruben Bain at 9. They've got the Giants taking Caleb Downs at 10. Later on, Mekhi Lemon goes at 13. And Jermod McCoy goes at 15, and Jordan Tyson goes at 16. I'm okay with all these guys, and they're available, and I don't think there's some slam dunk gotta have it at 8. Like, there's not a position that is important enough to this franchise that they have to take it at 8. There was a couple of years ago, they could not do anything but take an offensive lineman. It had to happen. They didn't have enough talent or players on the offensive line. There is not a position or a player that makes so much sense for the Saints that they have to make the move and take that pick at 8. If they can back up 5 or 6 spots and get Reuben Bain or Jordan Tyson or Mekhi Lemon or Caleb Downs, like, I just think this is a no-brainer. Now, you can't, it's nice to say on its face that, like, yeah, just trade back. Somebody's got to want to trade up, feel the need to do that, and then be able to compensate you on the back end. So I can't work all those out. Those are conversations that go on in the dark. But if the Saints are willing, and this front office is willing to stop doing the restructures for the last year and a half, which they basically have, if they're willing to stop trading up in the draft, which they didn't do last year, they have made some real systematic changes. They have done things differently for a year and a half. When it finally became apparent that Dennis Allen was not going to get it done and that Derek Carr wasn't going to be the quarterback and that era was over, something changed. And I truly believe that it's possible that if they got a phone call, they could accrue some more assets. I know last week I got on this very microphone in this very seat and I said, look, Mickey Loomis is on the record. He said, if you trade back, you get a worse player. And so my confidence level that they will do this is remarkably small. But of course, I always add the second layer to that comment, which should have been, yes, you get quote unquote a worse player, you also get more of them. And more is good for this team. How many times have I said they got to get younger, they got to get cheaper? The only way to get younger and cheaper is to draft players. Free agents are not younger, and they're certainly not cheaper. So you've got to take draft picks. And the situation New Orleans is in this year, with 4 or 5 positions of need and not a slam dunk problem solver that you've got to have at 8, it just makes so much sense. And everyone, when they mock a trade for the Saints and it goes back, they go, Loomis never does this, Loomis never does it. Well, maybe Loomis could do it. Maybe Kellen Moore could suggest we should probably do this. Maybe Ireland can get in his ear and go, this is a different era for us. This is not the end of the Breeze era. This is not holding on for dear life in the Dennis Allen, Derek Carr era. This is the beginning of the Kellen Moore, Tyler Shuck era. How do you get an era going? You get young, cheap players. Where do they come from? The draft. And these names that are rattling off, you never know how it's going to fall. We never know what the draft is going to fall like. Once Mendoza's off the board on Thursday, like, dominoes are going to start flying. But there's enough ammo here in these mock drafts that suggests that if the Saints can go back 5 or 6 spots, there is a reasonable talent at a position of need right there every time they do this. And I don't know what the Saints board says, and I don't know. They may have just Carnell Tate just circled 20 times on the board. I don't know. They may think it's Bain or bust, and we're taking him at 8. I don't know. But there are good players available at 10, 12, 16. And if you can get multiple picks or a high pick in return, I love the way the board looks in this first round with what the Saints need. I do. And I realize how silly this feels to do 15 minutes on this. I trust me, I'm fully aware of it. However, sometimes the thing that makes the most sense is the thing to do. And in this instance, if you can make it work, if there's an offer on the table, which is the part we can't analyze, I would love it. Now, Jordan, you got black and gold in your blood.
Yeah, you cut me right now. It's coming out.
Can we do this? Can we get this done? Are you okay with it? Are you okay with these names I'm listing?
Oh, of course. I mean, of course, all these names, because these are the same guys we can get at 8. So, yeah, of course. Any of those names, especially Bane, especially getting him at 12 and you move down a couple spots, that would be great. But, again, we're talking about Mickey Loomis. I know. It's just like, it's just this guy has shown his colors so much. It's like, I know this is a zebra. This zebra's not going to just get up and start talking like a lion or something like that. He's a zebra.
He's got his stripes.
He's got his stripes. We know what he's going to do. He's either going to trade up or he's going to sit where he's at. So I would love for Mickey Loomis to recruit some assets, especially doing a deal with Dallas, Jerry Jones, man. He's willing to might even trade you next year's first round pick too if you talk to him the right way. So
talk to me.
Oh yeah,
talk to me.
So in that sense, I would love to trade down, especially because I will say this though, Hunt. I'm a little worried about the Giants at 10 right now. I'm a little worried about the Saints missing out and letting somebody, just something about them moving up to that 10th spot, you know, that Dexter Lawrence trade, and just something about them being right under the Saints. NFC team, the Bengals, AFC.
In the ESPN mock draft, which already has this baked in, the Dexter Lawrence trade baked in, they've got the Giants taking Caleb Downs at 10.
I'm a little scared about that. That's like you look back at it. How did Saints let a Hall of Famer go to the Giants right here? And they could have took him at 8 and then let a Hall of Famer go to the Giants. So I'm a little worried about that because I was able to sleep good at night with the Bengals. AFC, I don't have to worry about y'all. Cool, y'all can get whoever you want. But an NFC team, and we play the Giants a lot. I'm a little worried about that. But trading down, I'm okay.
Jordan Tyson, I realize the injury concerns, but
he's special.
In the ESPN mock draft, they've got him going at 16. In the CBS mock draft, they've got Jordan Tyson going at. Oh, is he way early? Let me see. Make sure I'm not missing something there.
I'll tell you what. I'll take him at 12.
Yeah, they had him at 10.
I'll take him at 12, instead of Bane.
Yeah.
If Tyson's there at 12, I'm fully okay with taking him at 12 too. That makes a little bit more sense, with his injury history too.
It does. It's there's just so much there if you can find a dance partner to move back a little bit, but I promise you this.
Yes.
That will be the last trade back segment I do before Thursday. We've exhausted the trade back discussion. It's over. Until it happens, it's not worth any further discussion. However, we'll talk about who the Saints could take as we move forward this week. But it struck me because today I didn't have a Saints angle, and I was like, let's just read. And so I sat there for about 45 minutes and read draft stuff. And as I went through the mocks, I just kept looking back at the 12, 13, pick 16. I'm like, that got good. That would be fine. Like, well, if you can get more picks for it, throw me a second rounder. Love it. We'll see. And I'm carrying the optimism that I carried with the Quincy Riley pick, with the Danny Stutzman pick, with some of the work the Saints did in the middle rounds last year, even Devin Neal. I'm carrying some optimism from that and hopeful that they can cash in again. So we'll see. NFL draft cranks up on Thursday. Ross Jackson is all over it for us at LouisianaSports.net. Ross has kind of sneakily nailed the first-round pick in his pre-draft column the last 2 years. So I'll be very much on the lookout for what Ross is snooping around looking for and what he comes up with later on in the week. I saw our weekly schedule for LouisianaSports.net when the content's coming out, and Ross will make that projection coming up on Thursday. So I'll be very much glued into that, looking forward to it, and I'm sure Ross will be on AFR as the week unfolds as well. But if you want to read about it for free, you can at LouisianaSports.net. All right, what was wrong with Garrett Nussmeier this year? We learned something new. We'll talk about it next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Speaking of Garrett Nussmeier and injuries and diagnosis, Ochsner is here to help. And you can go to their symptom tracker online at ochsner.org/findcare and determine where it is you need to go within the Ochsner system based on what you're experiencing. If you're looking for comprehensive and continuous care, your annual checkups, immunizations, maybe some asthma, mild stomach aches, or chronic disease management, looking at your blood pressure, cholesterol, blood sugar, that's going to be primary care. And you can do virtual visits in there, schedule at www.ochsner.org/brprimary. If you need immediate care, their urgent cares will accommodate you. If you got sprains, broken bones, lacerations, ear infection, minor burns, rashes, skin irritations, you can walk in. They've got extended hours, and you can find a location for urgent care at ochsner.org/urgent care. If you've got severe or life-threatening issues, emergency care is necessary. Go to the ER, call 911 for severe chest pain, severe asthma, head trauma, allergic reactions, maybe sudden vision loss. You need to be seen immediately. Dial 911. For 24/7 virtual care options, schedule online through MyAuctioner. You can download the MyAuctioner app at www.auctioner.org/MyO. They've also got Auctioner on call at 1-800-231-5257. A nurse can help direct you to the best care option. That's for our friends at Auctioner.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google. Based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we know this and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar, but instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Everything you need for a stunning garden is at the Plant Barn in Baton Rouge. From trees and shrubs to plants and pottery, the Plant Barn has it all at great prices. Visit us today on Valley Street, right off Perkins Road in South Downs.
This is the Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Guarantee Health Solutions. Guarantee Health Solutions, guiding healthcare forward. GuaranteeHealth.com.
Monday show is brought to you by Guarantee Health Solutions. Talk a little baseball coming up in 15 minutes. Right now, football. Butterfly effect is a crazy thing. And one thing happens, and then everything happens in response to that. And the butterfly effect from Garrett Nussmeier's physical ailments in the fall is significant. I mean, look at this. A head coach got fired. An athletic director got fired. A new coach got hired. A lot of dominoes have fallen. And I'm not here to tell you that things would have been completely different if Nussmeier was completely healthy all year. But his physical ailments certainly didn't help. And we didn't really know what was going on. If I can take you back to August, we saw that Garrett Nussmeier wasn't throwing at practice, right? That had me a little antsy. And we heard that he had patella tendonitis. And we heard that he had some oblique stuff, and Brian Kelly talked about it. Nussmeier dismissed the whole thing, and finally, he just shut it down. He just stopped after 9 games. And we never really knew what the issue was. Well, Tom Pelissero has a report up for NFL Network. Said former LSU quarterback Garrett Nussmeier underwent tests at the NFL Combine that revealed a cyst on his spine, the root cause of the persistent oblique pain that derailed his 2025 season. The cyst was pressing on a nerve, Pelissero writes, which just doesn't sound very comfortable at all, causing discomfort in Nussmeier's oblique. He has been asymptomatic since just prior to the Senior Bowl and throughout the draft process. If that changes down the road, Nussmeier could undergo a minimally invasive procedure and miss just 2 to 3 weeks while the stitches heal. Either way, doctors say there's no short or long-term risk for Nussmeier, who is projected a mid-round pick in this week's NFL draft. So a cyst on his spine did not allow him to throw. And what's interesting to me is that Garrett Nussmeier said at the NFL Combine that he got hurt on day 2 of fall camp. Here's the quote. My injury occurred in fall camp, day 2, practice 2 of fall camp. How much did it affect me? I think it was pretty evident. I really wasn't able to throw the football. I had a stabbing pain in my ab every time I went to throw the ball. And he said that at the Combine, he was fine. He said at the Senior Bowl, which was the last week in January into February 1st, he said he felt great. So the thing that I'm curious about, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that Garrett's healthy moving forward, because what's done is done, right? But what's odd to me is if he had a cyst pressing up against his spine in August, and then he went to the Senior Bowl in January and had the highest velocity of the quarterbacks there and the longest throw there, and then at the Combine, a month and a half later, they found the cyst in the testing? I'm a little confused at the timeline here. So what made it feel better in December when you didn't even know what it was, apparently? It's odd. But it's a wild sequence of events that have led LSU to this point where you've literally now got a new athletic director and Ole Miss's football coach, partly due, now you may say 60%, you may say 4%, partly due to the fact that the quarterback had a cyst on his spine. That is not great fortune for a lot of people involved. Garrett Nussmeier threw for over 4,000 yards his junior season. Those numbers this past year shrunk to 1,900. He threw 29 touchdowns in 2024. He threw 12 in 9 games. I'm hopeful that Garrett is healthy. I'm hopeful that he finds a really comfortable landing spot on Friday or Saturday and that he enjoys a really long NFL career. Just not a lot storybook about his final season at LSU. And the bad break that gets, I mean, it's one thing to have a knee problem. It's one thing to, tear an oblique muscle. It's one thing to have a concussion or to get hurt playing the game. It's another altogether to have a freak medical issue like that nobody immediately points to and figures out. And it persisted and persisted and persisted. Again, I'm a little confused on the timeline. I don't think that matters because NFL teams will figure out who knew what when and what it means for the future. But we were so excited for this football season. LSU spent so much money on that roster from so many people. And the linchpin of the whole thing was the returning senior quarterback. And theoretically, 2 days in, he's got a cyst on his spine and is unable to play the position. Sometimes, not often, but sometimes, I will take a step back from my passion in this and, of course, my job in this. I'll take a step back and go, man, this is a silly thing to care so much about. I zap back into it, and I'm locked back in, and I'm caring a lot. But when you consider the impact that this had, holy cow, a story that we'll talk about for a very, very long time. We do What If Wednesday every Wednesday, right? What if Garrett Nussmeier doesn't get a cyst form on his back, on his spine? Is Brian Kelly still here? Is Scott Woodward still here? I don't know. Is Will Wade here?
Hunt, when you think about it, man, how in the world did we go from, he tweaked his knee to, he has a cyst on his back that is affecting he can't throw.
And that's the thing. Like, I don't believe that we're entitled to that information.
True.
Some people are. Like, I need to know. But again, like I just mentioned, Will Wade. Like, Will Wade's not here. Scott Woodward's still here.
Not even close.
And Scott Woodward's probably still here if A&M doesn't beat LSU by 1,000. And that was Garrett Nussmeier's last game.
Was his last game?
It's like he can't play anymore. It's just the butterfly effect here is just it's tens of millions of dollars and massive amounts of employment issues based on how this thing went down. And we were just so keyed up in August of last year. They went out there and beat Clemson. You're thinking, all right, top five, here they come. They got a defense now. They got just an absolute implosion of the entire athletic department.
All right. If you could tell me right now, you can bottle up that feeling I had when we beat Clemson week 1 and just sell that. I'm thinking, we're back, baby.
It was good. I was in Tiger Stadium. My guy BT was all fired up. Babe was
Tigers is back.
Babe was loving it. It's like, all right, welcome in Louisiana Tech.
And we couldn't score. And then I was like, oh, okay. Then you still couldn't score. And it was like, oh, Southeastern only 25. All right, what's going on here?
Just crazy stuff. Maybe it's the butterfly effect. Maybe Lane Kiffin goes and wins 2 national championships. Will Wade gets to a Final Four, and everything happens for a reason in the butterfly effect. You just had to endure what is going to be the worst season and year of male athletics in LSU since the mid-'70s. This will be the first time since the mid-'70s that LSU will finish with a losing SEC record in football, men's basketball, and baseball. First time since the mid-'70s. That'll have happened.
That's a good fun fact.
Yeah, it's not great. And guess who's been there for every step of it, writing game recaps for LouisianaSports.net? This guy. Talking about it 10 hours a week. This guy. Not great.
It's a little trauma dump.
Yeah, so let's talk more about the baseball team that hasn't won a game in 2 weeks. We'll do that when we come back.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
First American Bank and Trust. First American Bank and Trust. FABT.com. Started up in 1910. Still here 116 years later. Grown to 25 locations throughout Southeast Louisiana. So no matter where you are, if you're on the I-12 corridor listening to us and you're Tangipahoa or St. Tammany, they got First American Bank and Trust. You're down the Bayou, St. James, Lafourche, Terrebonne. They got First American Bank and Trust. Just outside Baton Rouge, Dutchtown, Jones Creek, First American Bank and Trust. Metairie, First American Bank and Trust. Do business with them. Every decision that's made about a commercial loan, personal loan, your loan is made in Southeast Louisiana by someone who's part of your community. You're not just a line item at First American Bank and Trust. You're part of the community that has fostered the growth of First American Bank and Trust. Get on by and see them. Check them out online, FABT.com, FABT.com.
Championships are won with preparation, and so are great roofs.
The Tigers don't cut corners on the floor. Parrish Construction and Roofing won't cut corners on your home either.
Do business with someone you know. Parrish Construction and Roofing.
ParrishBuilt.com. Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
At Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer, we know hard work starts with the right equipment. Right now, take advantage of the powerful 3025E tractor with Loader for just $297 a month, with 0% financing for 72 months. Whether you're tackling land, property, or projects, this is the tractor built to get it done. Don't wait. This offer ends April 30th, 2026. Visit sunequip.com or stop by a Sunshine location today.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you'll see every touchdown in HD. Place your bets and feel the thrill of every play with our DraftKings Sportsbook. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
I'm lawyer Collins Locke Meredith. Among the most important factors to consider when you're hiring an injury attorney is trust. You trust your attorney will put your interest first, treat you with respect, fairness, and honesty. You trust them to be there for you when you need them. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, thousands of clients have trusted us to represent them, and for good reasons. Please visit us at LockeMeredith.com to learn more, and whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Guarantee Health Solutions. Guarantee Health Solutions, guiding healthcare forward. GuaranteeHealth.com.
Marucci, awesome place. Work on your game as a youth baseball player, youth softball player. If you become a member over there at Marucci, you get key card access. You can go hit in the cages 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Whenever you're up and moving, take some hacks. Bregman's famous for being in there at 2 o'clock in the morning taking swings. I don't know if I necessarily endorse a 2 a.m. batting practice session, but I'm telling you it's not off the table. Marucci would love to have you. They'd love to have you take a tour as well. Go check them out online, maruccisports.com/campus-tour. You can see where they make 1,200 bats every single day. Send them off to the greatest players in the world. That's what makes them the official bat of Major League Baseball. Go learn their story. 20 years ago, this was in business in its infancy. Now it's the official bat of Major League Baseball right here in Baton Rouge. Go check them out at maruccisports.com/campus-tour. Every ticket comes with a 20% discount in the Campus Tour store and in the Hitter's House. That's from our friends at Marucci. Had a few tweets that got some traction this week, so I figured I would just bring them up on the air and kind of give my thoughts on them about LSU baseball. I put out a tweet. It was a poll. I said, humor me. What's LSU's biggest problem? Now, 39 of you replied to the tweet, and I think 34 of them said all of the above. That wasn't an option. I wanted the biggest. I wanted to see what LSU fans who are living and dying with this team see as its biggest issue. And I think there was some recency bias in this. But offense won the day by a significant amount over starting rotation, bullpen, and defense. Offense got 61% of the vote. The defense got 20% of the vote. The starting rotation got 12% of the vote, and the bullpen got 7% of the vote. And that was basically like what this weekend was. The offense was terrible. The bullpen was really good, but there have been times where the bullpen's been awful. Has come in, hit guys, walked guys, just had no idea where they were throwing the baseball. I don't know that the offense is the biggest problem on this team. It was this weekend. I think the biggest problem on this team has been defense and throwing strikes. And that is everybody involved in the pitching staff. But I just wanted to kind of get a pulse check, and I think there was some recency bias in that. Now, there were some other tweets that I sent out, and one I want to spend a little bit of time talking about. I didn't do a lot of research on this. I just have a sense of what I've been watching. But if you look at the national champions the last 5 years in college baseball, all of them come from the SEC. Mississippi State won it in 21. Ole Miss won it in 2022. LSU in 23. Tennessee in 24. LSU in 25. 5 champs. The following year, they've all face-planted. Face-planted. Mississippi State went 9-21 in league play the next year. Missed the tournament. Ole Miss was worse. They went 6-24 the next year. Missed the tournament. We know about LSU in 2024. They started 3-12. Found a way to rally and go 10-5 down the stretch and got into a regional, but they didn't get out of regional play. They went 13-17 in league play that year. Now, Tennessee had a winning record in 2025, but they were just 16-14. They lost their last 5 SEC series, and they lost 6 of the last 7 SEC series. And then LSU's 6-12. That total record of those 5 teams, defending national champs, brand name baseball programs, is 50-88 in league play. 50-88. Just face planted. And the reasons are plentiful. Like, Mississippi State was an incredibly veteran team that year. They lost just about everybody off that team. Tanner Allen was like their best guy. Like, they lost everybody. Ole Miss lost most of their guys. LSU loses Cruz, Skeens, Floyd. LSU loses Jobert, Dugas, Beloso, Milazzo, Riley Cooper. You lost a lot. Tennessee lost a ton. Christian Moore was gone. Blake Burke was gone. And also, we know, based on Jay Johnson's stories, that the portal opens after regional play. So Super Regional Week, there are visits going on, and if you get to Omaha and you're away from your campus, you can't host anybody. And Jay Johnson's talked about trying to get Luke Holman while they're trying to win a title in 2023. And you are absolutely at a disadvantage if you're still playing, especially if you're in Omaha. Now, LSU last year was hosting a Super. They got Landon Mack, who's now the Friday night guy for Tennessee. They got him on campus for the Super. Now, they didn't get him because, well, you know why. But that can be an advantage to be able to host at a Super. But then you fly to Nebraska, and if you do your job in Nebraska, you're there for a week and a half. And you can't host anybody. So that's, and plus, can you spend as much time on it if you're preparing to win a championship? I mean, if things go the way that they're going right now, Jay Johnson's going to be on an airplane during the portal. He's going to be going to see people. So it's just wild that 5 years in a row, the defending national champion has been bad and has never reached Omaha. It's Tennessee got to a Super last year, but they got blasted in Fayetteville. LSU got beaten in the regional round. Ole Miss and Mississippi State just missed the tournament altogether. It's weird deal there. And then the last one that I sent out was LSU's path to the NCAA tournament. I know when I say that out loud that you go, season's over, dude. Stop. And I appreciate that sentiment. I just can't do it. I'm not wired that way. I can't give up on the baseball team. I've seen Murray State make the College World Series last year. I've seen Kent State and Coastal Carolina and Stony Brook make the College World Series. I've seen Oral Roberts make the College World Series. You never know in this sport. I'm quite confident LSU's not going to the College World Series, but I can't quit. I didn't tell you you had to join me in my ridiculous endeavor, and I heard the coach on Friday saying that the roster's flawed and it won't happen again and I can't fix the defense this year and all those kind of... I heard it all. I just can't quit. It's just not there for me. And there's two reasons for that. One, I'm incredibly passionate about baseball. Two, the thought of doing football content in earnest in late May makes my stomach turn a little bit. I just don't want to do that. That just feels like a lot of time to talk about something that's not happening. Because they don't play football in June, and they don't play football in July, and for the most part, they don't play football in August. That's a long time. So I just, personally and professionally, I need this baseball team to hang in there. And so I laid out a roadmap that shows how it could be done. To be very clear, I would bet a significant amount that it doesn't go this way. But it's possible. And I'll lay it out for you. I put this tweet out yesterday morning before LSU played Texas A&M, and I had LSU losing yesterday. I had watched LSU play Texas A&M on Friday and Saturday. When I got to the ballpark on Sunday, I was quite confident LSU was not going to win the game. As I said to open up the show today, A&M completely outclassed LSU from the first pitch to the last pitch on Friday through Sunday. Technically, it was a pretty good first inning by Case and Evans, but quickly, A&M seized control of the game, control of the weekend, and swept LSU. And so I baked into this tweet pregame yesterday, a loss yesterday, and it did happen. So the rest of it still holds. You got to get one in Starkville. You have to win one. Didn't say win the series. You don't have to go sweep like two teams have done. Tennessee went in there and swept them. And Georgia went in there and swept them. You don't have to do that. You don't have to win 2 out of 3. You got to get one. You have to get one in Starkville. One game. That's all I'm asking. Come back home, South Carolina. Here's the tough part. You got to sweep. I got to have 3. Mississippi State had lost 6 league games in a row, like a certain team in purple and gold, and they went to South Carolina and swept them. South Carolina stinks. You have to sweep them. 3 games, need them all. You go to Georgia. They hit 1 billion baseballs over the fence. They're very good. They lead the SEC. You got to get one. You have to get one. You have to do what you did in Knoxville and hit a bunch of homers. You have to get one game. 1 out of 3. Got to get it. And then you come home to play Florida. And you got to get 2. Got to get 2. If you do that, 1 at State, 3 against South Carolina, 1 at Georgia, and 2 against Florida. That puts you at 13 and 17. And I understand that the RPI is bad, but I don't know for sure that with these road games against high RPI teams, and that we're talking about 7 wins here. I don't know that won't get the RPI in a good enough spot. It might not. I will fully tell you that. But if you're going to sit here now and tell me with that many games against the RPI top 20 and 7 more wins that that's not good enough, I don't believe you. I don't know. You can think it, you don't know it. Because you don't know if people are going to steal bids on conference tournament week. You don't know what the bubble's going to look like. So that's my path. 1 at State, 3 against South Carolina, 1 at Georgia, 2 at home against Florida. Going to be tough to do. This team looks terrible right now in every phase. Terrible in every phase. And I will be completely honest with you. I said this to a lot of people this weekend. I am handling LSU's baseball struggles with the emotional maturity of a 7-year-old. I'm doing extremely poorly with it. I don't like it. I'm not a grown-up. I'm not focusing on other things. I'm not just ditching it and thinking about football. I'm handling it extremely poorly. I'm a whiny little baby about it. It is what it is. I don't like it. But I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give up. And in my tweet, after that path I laid out, I said, and you know what? For good measure, if you can go get 1 in Hoover, great. Now, for 3 minutes here, I'm going to give you small reasons for confidence. Mississippi State has not played as well as they did early in the season. South Carolina is terrible. And Florida is Jekyll and Hyde. Also, Devin Sheeran looks awesome. I still have trust in Zach Cowan. Marcos Paz has been very good. Gavin Guidry had a good start. Connor Binge has quietly done his job and gotten some outs. I want to see more of him. I still think Derek Curiel's really good. I still think Jake Brown is really good. I think Kaden Beatty's had some great at-bats. I loved the fact that Omar Cerna ripped an RBI single into right field yesterday that looked really mature. And there's a possibility in the next week that Cooper Moore can help. And those are some outs that you haven't had the luxury of him eating up. Maybe he can be a 12-out guy in some of these series against South Carolina and Florida when you need some more arms. Cooper Moore's a decent pitcher, and he can help. You haven't had him. And that shuffles where some guys are in the lineup. LSU was okay on defense this week. Pearson made one mistake, and you had a wild pitch, 2 of them. But you didn't walk everybody. You just got beat by a really good team, and A&M's really good. So I'm not telling you that I'm the brightest guy in the world. I'm not telling you that I'm being reasonable. In fact, probably being unreasonable. But I don't have another gear. This is the only one I have. I just can't quit on them. It's beyond comprehension that I'm excited to get in the car and drive to Starkville this weekend to watch them play on the road against a talented team. Like, that doesn't make any sense. And they make me regret it coming home on Sunday. But I want to see the stadium, and I'm not going to give up hope. Anything can change in a weekend. I told you that on Friday. Now, things got worse since Friday when I talked to you, but I can't quit. I know that some of you are wired like me, and I know that most of you do a little bit better than that. And you may be on to football, but I'm going to stay entrenched until it's over. We'll see. Come back and close it out next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. They're online at fabrychevrolet.com. Make that short drive to St. Francisville. It's a lovely drive. My wife and I made it about a month ago. Celebrated our 5th anniversary up there. It's quick. If you're in Baton Rouge, be there in 20, 25 minutes. If you're north of Baton Rouge and Zachary or Baker, quicker than that. Feliciana's obviously very close, and you can get over there from Point Capee Parish as well. They got great deals and great people at Fabry Chevrolet GMC. You know the Fabry family. They've been at this for 35 years in Baton Rouge. They take their customer service very, very seriously, and that's why they've been as successful as they have been. So have a wonderful buying experience. Get behind the wheel of a great car for a great deal. Up to $11,000 off Silverados, up to $13,000 off GMC Sierras. If you need a new truck, Fabry Chevrolet GMC is your stop. Get by and see him at St. Francisville. Start that buying process online at fabrychevrolet.com.
At Raising Cane's, we hand batter every chicken finger, mix every cane sauce, butter every Texas toast, stir every slaw, and salt every fry. Because when you do it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home, with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit louisianapropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Guarantee Health Solutions. Guarantee Health Solutions, guiding healthcare forward. GuaranteeHealth.com.
Monday show is brought to you by Guarantee Health Solutions, online at GuaranteeHealth.com, GuaranteeHealth.com. A team at Guarantee Health Services Solutions managed over 1 million patients last year. If you're in the healthcare space and you're struggling with your Net Promoter Score, they can help you at Guarantee Health Solution. In fact, they brought one partner's Net Promoter Score from 65 to 90 in just 3 months. They can make a difference in your patient's journey to care. They can help manage your website, help manage the front desk, make sure that when your patients walk through the door, they're taken care of and they have a positive experience in your practice. It's just what they do at Guarantee Health Solutions. They can do marketing for you, website evaluations, SEO engagement, manage events, do traditional advertising like radio and television. They're guiding healthcare forward at Guarantee Health Solutions. You can find them online at GuaranteeHealth.com, GuaranteeHealth.com. All right, let's play some Take It or Leave It.
Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
Today's hottest stories in sports, news, and sometimes even Hunt's life. The question is, will he take them or leave them?
All right, Hunt, so the NBA playoffs are going on, and with the Magic beat the Pistons. Well, with the Pistons losing to the Magic, they now have the longest losing streak in the playoffs in NBA history with 11 straight playoff games. They haven't won a playoff game since the 2008 Eastern Conference Finals versus the Boston Celtics. So is this a worse record than not making the playoffs overall? Take it or leave it. You gotta think about
I gotta
this.
leave it.
Gotta leave it?
You gotta make the playoffs.
Okay.
I mean, making the playoffs is the first part of this deal. It's one of those deals. It's like, is Jordan going to 6 finals and winning them all better than LeBron going to what did he go to, like 9 or 10 and win?
There's like 9 in a row. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's you want to get to the
gotta get there
to the spot first. But yeah, it's not a great look. I know that Oakland A's lost to the Yankees like 8 times in a row in the playoffs.
Goodness.
Just couldn't win a game. That's frustrating for sure. Detroit had a great year. They're not done, obviously, but they've had a great year.
Oh, they definitely can come back, but goodness, since 2008, my goodness.
I was sophomore at LSU, 2008.
Well, this was when the prime of Kevin Garnett, who's been retired. He's in the Hall of Fame now, so it's a long time ago. So the Portland Trailblazers president Dwayne Hankins said fans won't receive T-shirts. They're to do the playoff T-shirts where they try and color out the building. Well, in response to that, we did it for Game 3 and 4. In response to that, the Spurs for Game 1, they colorfuled out the whole entire arena. Guys, you can show the picture, please. I have a picture for you.
Oh.
I thought the picture's going to pop up.
It's right there. We got it.
Yeah. So they did this in response to the Blazers saying they're not going to have T-shirts for the fans. So not giving fans T-shirts. Take it or leave it.
Leave it. Put the T-shirts out.
Leave it alone.
But I don't know how I feel about the multicolored Spurs logo.
Oh, you're not a fan of the Fiesta?
I feel like I kind of like just going with the black and gray.
They probably will do some black and gray, but I just think it was more like, hey, y'all not going to get them T-shirts? Or
There's
show y'all
nothing
something?
I've lost the plot more on than NBA uniforms. They have
it's crazy.
They've completely lost me.
No,
Nobody has their team name on the uniform. It's just like some slogan.
Yeah.
No one wears their real colors. They wear whatever color they want that night.
Pelicans wear black and green.
Yeah, I can't. Black. That's so. I can't
that's our
figure it
best
out.
jersey. That's the problem. Our best jerseys.
Skeletor
Yeah, the
jerseys?
skeletons. Yeah, the skeletons.
Terrible.
Like, that's the problem. Okay, so Brandon Aubrey and the Dallas Cowboys finally reached an agreement to make him the highest paid kicker in NFL history. 4-year contract extension, $7 million per year, $20 million guaranteed. So $20 million guaranteed for a kicker. Take it or leave it.
Take it.
Ooh, I'll take it.
Kickers score points.
Fantasy.
Points are good. And he can score points from midfield, which is very good. So, yeah, I think that's worth it. Kickers are very important. We saw Sean Payton go through them like socks around here.
I mean, groupie. Come on now. We still going through it.
Groupie.
We still going through it.
I think that's just fine. You got a guy that can make it happen. He's the best kicker maybe ever in terms of his ability to change games. So think about the difference in winning and losing an NFL game so often is to try to get a field goal late. And if you only have to get to the midfield at the end of a drive in a 2-minute, that's not hard to do. He can cash it in. So, yeah, that's a good deal for the Dallas.
So that's it for Take It or Leave It.
All right, Monday show is brought to you by Guarantee Health Solutions. That's it for us. You missed any of the show today. A lot of baseball, a lot of football, some Saints draft talk as well. Find it wherever you find your sound. Search Hunt Palmer Show. Hunt on Saints for all your Saints information. Hunt on LSU for all your LSU information. Excited about tomorrow's show. LSU does have another spring football practice. Tomorrow we will be out there at 9:50. We'll have a practice report up at LouisianaSports.net, and we will talk about it on tomorrow's show. Get you ready for LSU and UNO in midweek baseball as well. Matt's going to drive you home next. We're out of here. It's the Hunt Palmer Show.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Boudreaux's Electrical Services. Boudreaux's Electrical Services. Neil and Melissa have been running Boudreaux's Electrical for 40 years. Locally owned and operated, a family business, Boudreaux's Electrical Services. So if you need that Generac home standby generator, it's one call. It's Boudreaux's Electrical. Go with the local option. You can buy a Generac home standby generator from the big box store. Absolutely, you can do it. Will you ever hear from them again? Probably not. At Boudreaux's Electrical, you're going to have a local team come and install that generator. They will monitor that generator. They will do the maintenance on that generator so that when you need that generator to kick in and turn your power on in the event of a loss, it's ready to go. That's what you get at Boudreaux's Electrical. Give them a call. 985-397-1562. Again, that's 985-397-1562 or 225-300-9389. 225-300-9389. Go with the local option for your Generac home standby generator. Go with the folks at Boudreaux's Electrical.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding.